Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We bring you stories of faith, love, and devotion. Yeah, just kidding, please help us grow by hitting that like button. Now on to the story. Discovered additional affair 20 plus years later. Story. I am 53, very recently discovered that my wife, F51, of 26 years had an additional affair with a co-worker on top of an affair with another guy that I already knew about 20 plus years ago. I found Facebook messages between her and this guy from 2013 where he mentions a weekend in Vegas they'd spent in 2000 and he asked her if she'd be up for another one, writing, "We haven't done that in 13 years. She thankfully declined, but this news hit me like a Mack truck. I knew this guy, she talked about him, and I always got a bad feeling about him. I can remember a conversation from back then where she said he tried flirting with her and I jokingly said, "Should I beat him up?" And she laughed and said, "Probably." To compound things, since I confronted my wife about this, she's acted as if I should just get over it immediately since it happened so long ago. She feels like she's being punished. Meanwhile, I've been in a tailspin, ruminating over every conversation and suspicion from that time, asking her questions, looking at this dude's Facebook and LinkedIn accounts repeatedly as if I could dig up some new nugget of information. I'm really ducking pissed that she remained in contact with this guy. We moved pretty far away in 2001, they haven't worked at the same company since. From what I could tell from the Facebook messages and what she tells me, they haven't physically seen each other since. But they kept up occasional correspondence that ended in 2015 from what I saw on Facebook. It's total BS. So yeah, that's my story. I'm back feeling like I did 20 plus years ago, only I'm 20 plus years older and feeling stuck in the sunk cost fallacy. I've spent almost 30 years with this woman, it's been mostly good, she's been a good mother and partner and we have a good time together. But goddamn this is hurting, and her unwillingness to go through these emotions with me is making it harder. So ask yourself how many you still haven't managed to catch. She has zero remorse for her actions because she probably knows there will be no consequences, just like the previous time. She had her side fun and now wants you to just get over it. That's exactly how I see it. Then you know what to do, bud. I know you're afraid, but you've been trapped by her for too damn long. You need to stand up for yourself, brother. You let her side the first time 2 decades ago and now you truly see what she's always been. A leech. Never satisfied until she's had her fill of sucking the life out of you with lies and betrayal, and she still isn't satisfied. She needs consequences for her hideous behavior. I'm sorry that this has happened to you. She has zero remorse for her actions because she probably knows there will be no consequences, just like the previous time. That's exactly how it is. She doesn't care that she hurt you because she doesn't think that you're going to do anything about it. The most troubling thing about this post. She felt no guilt or shame when she cheated. Kept up with him after they moved for 15 years. And when he finds out, her response is that it was long ago, got over it. I did. Did she even apologize? It's funny when women think because the dude is 50 he will stay with her. In reality, he will have the time of his life once the divorce is finalized. She will not. It is not the dating that holds a man that age back. It's the loss of half of everything. Hard to imagine starting over in your mid-50s. Yes, this 1000x. I've worked for 25 years to get us here. If we split, I give away half of that. It's crushing. So yeah, that's my story. I'm back feeling like I did 20 plus years ago, only I'm 20 plus years older and feeling stuck in the sunk cost fallacy. I've spent almost 30 years with this woman, it's been mostly good, she's been a good mother and partner and we have a good time together. But goddamn this is hurting, and her unwillingness to go through these emotions with me is making it harder. So sorry, op. Reminder, we get one shot on this spinning rock. That's all I've been thinking about. I tied myself into a pretzel 20 years ago in order to get to a point where we could stay together, and now I find out about this in my 50s. With my family history, I probably have 20 to 25 years, tops, left. Do I really want to spend it tying that pretzel even tighter? My gut feeling is to bail. The only thing keeping me here is the thought of our future grandkids having divorced grandparents. Don't worry about the grandchildren, they will have grandpa's back more than your wife ever has when they are old enough to understand. They will respect you much more knowing how you handled your wife's infidelity. Those grandbabies will be good, if you are. Dude, at your age, you will have no problem replacing your cheating wife with another woman if you are even moderately in shape and a decent human being. She will have issues finding the same. If you don't want someone else, then live your life how you want, but this woman is not it. I've thought a lot about this in the past few days. I've got a goofy looking face, always have, but I'm tall and trim, have most of my hair and make good money. I've been with my wife since I was 21, I'm genuinely curious about how I do in the dating field and have heard from a few acquaintances recently divorced that they can't believe how high their market value is. I'm trying not to let this sway my decision, though. Be careful with thinking it's gonna be a breeze being single. If you're a catch, you'd know it even if you were faithfully married. But this is some situation 20 years ago? I'd be furious. I don't know what I should do. Has it affected your attraction to her? What a mind F. Yeah, I have no illusions about where I rank. You have two choices. 1, you decide to stay. In that scenario, don't try to dig up anything. Because, I guarantee you there would be more. Your wife knows you can't leave. So, don't expect remorse. 2, file for divorce, not an empty threat, for real. Don't bother digging up anything further. Just get the divorce and move on. Never heard of staying together for the grandkids. Ha. Well, I guess I'm an innovator. Smile. They've not even been born yet. Why worry about something that they won't even be aware of? They'll have 2 households to be spoiled from. If that's it, take the big step and separate as efficiently and look after your own interests 100%. Your grandkids will be fine, that just doubles the fun for them. Do what you have to, but do not give the smallest fraction that isn't necessary to get it done. Believe me, you don't want to live the rest of those years tying the pretzel even tighter. Live for you, not your grandchildren. You only have so many years left. Make them the best years of your life. You caught her 20 years ago and you guys reconciled? How did you reconcile? Did you let everyone know what she did and make her face consequences, or have you just swept everything in the rug so everything could go back to normal? DNA test your kids. We went through marriage counseling, which really galls me now because she was lying all through that, as she never mentioned this other guy. Her family knew about it. I never told my family because the goal was reconciliation, and I know my family would find it hard to forgive her. I realize now that was a mistake. Did her family know about the other affair? That is a question that you need answered. Pretty sure at least her mom did, possibly her brother. At the time, she told them everything about us to the point of annoyance, and I know they knew about the affair I was already aware of, so I'm assuming she told them about this additional one as well. They really need to wrap their heads around the simple reality that it happened 20 years ago for them, but for you it happened last week. It hits exactly as hard as if she had an affair last week. I wonder if explaining it that way would help her be more understanding. It's actually worse than that, because you also have to deal with her lying about it for 20 years, which is a lot worse than lying about it for a few months or a few years. It's not like she forgot about it. He reached back out to her, and she still didn't feel guilty enough to confess. Every time it crossed her mind for the past 20 years, she decided to maintain the lie. It was a new betrayal every time. Plus it destroys her credibility even deeper. In her mind, she is thinking about all the years she didn't cheat, and all the times she was honest in her life, unable or unwilling to face the fact that you have no way of knowing how often she told the truth or lied. That is the price of deception. She is no longer a reliable source for her own narrative. Another kick to the gut is the fact that she never regretted it. To her it was just another fun memory she could reminisce about occasionally. Sickening. Yes, this part kills me. If I do decide to stay, she gets to keep those memories and our marriage. Nah bro. Don't stay. Even seniors in senior homes sleep around. You can meet someone who respects you. It is entirely one thing if she was remorseful. I'd almost bet money that she cheated more than those two. Divorce time. If I do decide to stay, she gets to keep those memories and our marriage. I know that feeling. It's difficult to find a way forward where they pay the price of their betrayal that doesn't also leave us more hurt and alone. If she realized the true depth of her betrayal, then the guilt and shame would overwhelm her. That would be a payoff that might allow the relationship to survive. I've read that one of the biggest surprises to WPs is how much it hurt their partner. They knew it would hurt, but not this much. That's the only time they start to hurt as well, but only if they care. I'm so sorry you had to find out this way. At least if it happened last week other people would understand, but I bet most people would be dismissive because it happened so long ago. It's such a lonely burden. Yes, one of my oldest, closest friends suggested I move on because it happened so long ago and to focus on what I have now with her. It's logical advice because our marriage is good outside of this one issue. But it doesn't address the pain I'm feeling. We hope that by sharing these stories with interested folks like you, we can help people recognize the signs of a relationship in trouble, and avoid so many of these heartbreaking situations yourselves. Have a good day or night, wherever you are.